From the News Channel 5 Network and Out and About newspaper, this is Out and About Today. Sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Hello and welcome to Out and About Today. I'm Brent Meredith. Thank you for joining us. We have another insightful show for you tonight. Pam has a look at an interesting new event, Couture and Cake, and Chuck has a preview of the play that just transitioned from screen to stage called Crazy All These Years. But first, my co-host Pam and Chuck and I are going to buzz about tonight. We've got lots of stuff to talk about, so let's just jump right in, shall we? So how many of you how many of you? Like there's so many of you.
The majority.
The majority of you watch children's movies like Beauty and the Beast, Power Rangers. Do you watch those with?
I have a child.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Yes, I watch
Is she watching the movies yet?
Oh, sure. She loves Annie and Miss Hannigan.
Yeah.
Which I just saw Carol Burnett PS anyway. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, she was in town.
I grew up with the nephews, watching all the kids' movies.
So, and I know you guys have seen this, but we've got a Power Ranger that may be a lesbian that's struggling with her identity, and we've got sort of an implied, if not small, gay kiss on Beauty and the Beast. I just wanted to get your reactions to that. We've talked a little bit before the taping.
Brent. We love it.
Of course we do, but why is there such a fuss over this? Chuck, you had a good point earlier. Share that with everyone.
Well, the thing about the Disney thing with Beauty and the Beast was the fact that they made such a big deal that they had this gay character, and then people, now that they've seen the movie, they're asking, was that the gay character? Was that it?
It's like so subtle.
Right, so subtle, and it's almost blink and you miss it.
Well, that's what, not to interrupt you, but Emma Watson, who's in the movie, even said it's incredibly subtle, and it's a kind of a play on the audience having to go, is it or is it not happening? You know, like, is it happening?
Well, I want to go back to Power Rangers for a second.
Yeah. Of course you do. Bring us back.
No, well, I do, because the way, the context of it is, you know, do you have trouble with a boyfriend or a girlfriend? And it reminded me of, I'm going to show my age, of Real World in like 1992 or 4 when Pedro Zamora is asked, like, do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah, there's Becky G as the Yellow Ranger.
Or do you have a girlfriend? And then it's like, I love when people think, you know, if there's a little bit of a hesitation, or the other, right? You know, so I just like that. That's how it should be.
Well, it is. And I mean, and all this is lead up to the next question, really, which is, are there really now more gay characters being portrayed, or is it just that it's not as subtle, or it's not as, because I mean, one thing Chuck and I was talking about, or were talking about a second ago, is that there have always been lots of gay characters in Marvel comics, but oftentimes they're portrayed as straight in the movie. So is really the movies just catching up with what the fans are already kind of accustomed to?
Well, it's almost hard to believe that it's been this long, or it's taken this long for these gay characters to even appear in G-rated or PG-rated, you know, movies, kids' movies.
But I do understand, too, because I read this article that Wonder Woman's gay, right?
Well, I mean, there's been assumptions in the comics and Batwoman, and really, if you're a strong female Marvel character, you're probably a lesbian.
But I know I'm probably going to get, like, panned for saying this. Yeah, but I can understand why you change Wonder Woman when you're making a mainstream blockbuster. There's more straight people, Chuck. There are.
Well, there are, but that doesn't mean you have to change it.
Well,
why not?
And is it a good thing that we're changing it now? I mean, is it better that we've waited to change it, or I
don't know, but I like to see gay romantic comedies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So probably more than straight.
Sure.
So I would say the other's true.
Yeah.
So.
Which makes me think too. Just this is totally off subject, and I know this is Brent's buzz about.
That's okay.
Did you guys watch When We Rise, the miniseries? Yeah. It was very interesting to me. It didn't do very well in the ratings, but I thought it was really well done. But it was so, you know, centered on the whole gay rights movement that probably the vast majority of the public were like, oh, even if they thought it was a good show, it's kind of like, oh, it's not my story, don't really relate to it. So that's probably why it didn't do.
So what you're saying is possibly like they could have related to a strong female character in Wonder Woman, and then finding out maybe if they went to read the comics or later, that might have been a better way to introduce them?
Perhaps. I don't know the answer to these questions, but it's your buzz about.
Well, the last thing I'm going to say on all of this is that you know, there were boycotts of both of them. I mean, does that help? Or it seems like that only just helps them make more sales.
Yeah,
right. Because I mean,
and that's going to open huge in Malaysia, because you know at first now they're going to release it there with no cuts or anything, even though what would have been a 3-second cut.
Right.
Honestly. I know. Literally, 3 seconds. Well, anyway, thank you for indulging me on the fun. Sorry to steal your entertainment section, but that just really kind of got me excited, plus mad. I don't know. So speaking of mad, let's talk about the hashtag Slate of Hate that the TEP and some of the other equality groups in town are following. So a TEP is just shy of their goal of 100 clergy to sign on against this, which I think is a valuable thing. I mean, do you have any thoughts on why that's important, and is that of value, do you think, to have these clergy behind these efforts?
I think it's a huge value to have that. And I think, I know that they wanted 100, but I think it's great that they have as many as they do, because often it's all
now.
about, oh, they did.
Yeah, they were close to 100 last I looked.
Yeah,
so they're over 100 now?
I think so.
That's even better. Yeah.
Right.
So and not just the Tennessee Equality Project, but all of the rallies that are happening and the we are watching on Mondays, and we've got a couple of full screens will show up. There's the Slate of Hate. That's Tennessee Equality Project's hashtag they've been using, and we've been trying to use that on all of the articles we've been sharing about that. And so the Slate of Hate actually consists of six, seven, however you want to count them, bills in both the House and the Senate. So of course you have to double that, and all of them really seemingly either overtly or covertly are targeting our community in some way. So I mean, it just seems like such a rush out of the gate. I mean, are they trying to hurry up and get this done before things in Washington blow up and they can't get any support? I mean, what is it that's made this year so much more sort of vehement, even with the protests? Pam, you're
well, I think that it's the overall national climate. Like, the right feels like they have a lot more power. Would you guys not agree?
No, I
lot
agree.
More support.
Yeah. They're putting up some of the bills now, just not to interrupt you, but the first one is the erasure bill, and then we've got the business license to discriminate bill, Tennessee Natural Marriage Defense Act. And by the time some of you are watching these, some of these may be on watch, they may not be on watch. They've been jockeying and sort of running them all over the place in committee over the last couple of weeks and continue to. So that's just three, and I think there's another slide with the other three. So we've got the anti-transgender student bathroom bill, which was defeated in the House or the Senate subcommittee today. And then we've got the sneaky GLBT erasure bill and the attack on parenthood bill. So I mean, there's just lots of things out there right now that.
And I think they're still jockeying for their constituents.
I think you're exactly right.
Yeah, completely.
But if people want to follow this, the Slate of Hate is the hashtag. You can find it on social and follow it there. TEP, Power Together Tennessee. A lot of groups are out right now really trying to lead the charge in this. I mean, you both are shaking your heads.
Well,
are you watching?
It's time to get engaged and to pay attention.
Be vocal.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, cool. We got to head to the break, but we'll be right back in just a minute. And that's all the time we have. But you can stay up to date on state and local politics on our Facebook page. And when we return, Pam has a look at Couture and Cake, an exciting new fashion show benefiting National Pride. Stay with us.